From inside the gym at Leominster High School, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of high school basketball here on Rivalry Family Media. So great to have you along with us in a fantastic matchup as Leominster Narragansett week in Pod 6 basketball continues in this COVID-modified winter 2021 season. Leominster brings a 1-0 record, a win on Monday night over Narragansett, a 39-33 victory up in Baldwinville into their home gym tonight for the back end of the home and home weekly series. Meanwhile, the Warriors come in 0-1 behind their new bench boss, head coach and 26-year-old Kylie Cleveland, in search of her first victory. Within 6 points on Monday night, certainly bodes well for a fantastic basketball game here at the gym at Leominster High School tonight. And we say a very good evening, everyone, courtside, alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for Rivalry Family Media. Happy to have you along with us here inside the gym, and of course, it's great to have you with us from home. We'll do our level best over the next couple of hours to make you feel like you are right here inside the gym at Leominster High School for this battle of Leominster and Narragansett. In the meantime, Bill Thomas, here's the matchup with two teams. Very rarely in high school basketball or any other sport in high school do you have 4 days between matchups with the exact same team. Home and homes are not a thing typically. But what else is new? COVID brings us something else that's not a thing.
100% spot on,
the way
Todd.
things have normally been done. So here you go. You've had 4 days between action. You've got two younger teams. They're trying to build themselves back in, trying to develop some confidence. Coach Kevin Grutchfield mentioned, of course, he's got to go into his game on the road tonight worried about overconfidence with his squad.
Well,
in
a
this
50-point win the other night.
Absolutely.
Overconfidence could set in.
6 points was the difference between
Yes.
this battle. Overconfidence, not something Coach Rusty Frederick has to worry about with his young squad.
No, and this was a close game throughout. Leominster had a 5-point lead at the half, and Narragansett kept it close. You know, it turned out to be a 6-point win, but you know, he's got challenges this year. A couple of girls are back, but no seniors on the team. So he's relying on his underclassmen, and nothing better way to start the season with a win, you know, with your underclassmen and having a balanced attack, which is something that he might have been surprised about, because usually you see one girl step up and then everybody else chips in, you know, 2, 3, 4. You had an 8-point scorer, 9-point scorer, a couple of 8-point scorers. Actually, looking at the rundown the other night, led by Sabrina Mawa had 9, but right behind her, Juliana Pompey had 8, and Taylor Boulay also had 8. So balanced scoring, and that bodes well.
No doubt about it. And Kate, of course, for a young head coach in Kylie Cleveland, certainly a tall task coming into this one. 4 days later, you don't get a chance to find a new team. You've got the same opponent you had 4 days ago. How do you change things up and try to close that 6-point gap?
Well, one of the nice things, especially in this COVID truncated season, like you said, this becomes the revenge game for Narragansett. So Coach now has a good understanding of what she's up against in Rusty Frederick's young Lady Blue Devils team. And so you can game plan a heck of a lot easier if you have that full game of experience under your belt, and you get to go right back at it. So the preparation for that second game, I feel like, is probably laser focused in practice, because you know exactly what it is you need to accomplish.
We would typically say tip-off is next, but as we said on Monday night, tip-off not a thing in the winter COVID season. A coin toss has been held. The ball will be put in play after we meet the starting lineups for our two teams. As we meet the starters tonight here on Rivalry Family Media and here inside the gym at Leominster High School, we start first with the visiting Narragansett Warriors, and starting with number 5, the guard, the senior Sarah Janssens. Number 11, Haley Allen, the forward, a junior. Number 12, Julie Davis, a forward, also a junior, a 15-point scorer on Monday night. Meanwhile, Alyssa Hardy, number 15, a guard and senior, will get the start in the 4 position tonight. And then Kelly Weidel will get the start at guard, the senior. Will close out that front court for the Narragansett Warriors. Meanwhile, for the Leominster High School Blue Devils and third-year head coach Rusty Frederick, he'll put the following 5 on the floor. It's number 4, Isabella Nevard, who will get the start tonight, along with Kylie Cudahy in the other guard spot. Kyra Forsberg and Juliana Pompey will get the start at the forward spots. Ava McDonald, the center, will be the starter tonight for Leominster, rounding out that starting 5. And meanwhile, here inside the gym at Leominster High School and from your homes as well, we rise for tonight's national anthem. Pre-game festivities are over here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's time for basketball in this COVID-modified winter 2021 season. 1-0 versus 0-1, two teams that saw each other just 4 days ago. Not much more familiarity that you can be asked to deal with than that, Bill Thomas. And again, we were saying it right off the top of the broadcast, two teams very young as well. So there's plenty of room in both teams, aside from a 6-point distance being so narrow a margin. There's plenty of room for both teams to improve here in this first week of the season.
Oh, absolutely, Todd, and plenty of opportunity to adjust too. You know, a lot of times you'll play a team twice, but could be 4, 6, even 6 weeks apart. First half of the season, second half of the season, make that swing around. Twice in the same week, it's unusual. It's a different type of coaching challenge, but I'm sure that both coaches are up to it and they've made the adjustments.
No question about that. As Coach Frederick finishes the conversation, breaks the huddle, and out to the floor comes his starting five tonight. And we're set for basketball. Leominster won the toss. They will possess to open the first half of play. Ball put in play, and away we go. Leominster will go left to right here in quarter number 1. Just underway inside the gym at Leominster High School. Basketball for your ride home, or basketball in your home here in 2021. Rivalry Family Media glad to be here and be a part of it. Leominster wearing the home white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in royal blue front and back on the numerals. Leominster across the chest, and a traveling violation called against Nevard in the early going. Meanwhile, here come the Narragansett Warriors wearing the royal blue tops, royal blue bottoms, in the reverse, trimmed in white and silver. White numerals front and back. Gansett across the chest in the arc. And a foul called in the early going for a bump. That one's going to go against Juliana Pompey, her first.
Once again, looking at blue and white on white and blue. I'm the over-under of being confused is at least 3 for me tonight.
Early preview of next week, Bill Thomas.
Yeah.
It's blue and white versus Halloween. It's orange and black. Gardner, the opposition for Leominster next week. Meanwhile, Gansett out of bounds on the baseline. Looked like down floor. Jansen's might have caught her toe on the line. The official got a look at it. Ball ruled out of bounds, and the ball back to Leominster. Teams exchange turnovers in the early going. Right down floor, the strong take to the basket. It was Cudahy, a little too hard off glass. Second opportunity on the possession for Pompey was off target, and a rebound down for Juliet Davis. Julie had 15 points the other night, Bill Thomas. She clearly led all scorers for Narragansett.
Yeah, she was the main focus of the offense, but she's going to need some help tonight. They can't just rely on her.
And quickly to the floor, the finger whistles kill the play, and indication on the alternate possession, it is Gansett basketball.
Both of these teams still trying to get their legs under them here in the early going.
There's Kate Robbins. Kate's been pulling triple, double, quadruple duty in the early going as well. Ball bounced into play for Hardy. And Hardy will find Davis at the top of the key to start this one. 25 to shoot. Worked a little give and go, did Davis. It was bothered by Nevard from behind. The loose ball picked up by Allen. She goes up strong, draws the foul, should be in the act of shooting, and I believe Allen's got 2 shots coming her way and a chance to get Gansett or anybody on the board with almost 90 seconds gone by.
That's going to be Pompey's team second for Leominster here in the early going.
Nice little give and go, 2-man game there. Got her into the paint, picked up the foul.
And the first one will fall for Allen. And Narragansett will draw first blood at 1-0 here in the early going.
Allen chipped in with 5 points the other night.
Being very deliberate from the line.
That one a little more of a line drive, but got the kiss off the rim and rolled over the front. 2-0 Narragansett, 90 seconds gone by here in the first quarter. Strong take by Nevard. She was off the mark to the right, and the rebound down for Davis again. Another one-shot possession for the Blue Devils. And Kate, that's what stood out on the first 3 Leominster possessions. One shot, and that's been about it.
Yeah, they're going to have to clean up along the boards. Rebounding is going to be key here. And right now, it looks like Gansett's come out pretty strong.
Nevard with the pick. Wide open to the rim. She'll lay it in and good. We're knotted at 2. 2 minutes gone by here in the first. Leominster with token full court pressure. Broken. Baseline, it's Davis, got some
nice
room,
try.
shot up, didn't go. Allen's put-back opportunity doesn't either, and then bodies crash to the floor. The ball bounces loose out of bounds, and the ball will favor Gansett. And remember, all inbounds here in this COVID-modified season will be from the foul line extended at either sideline. No ball will be put in play from underneath an offensive basket.
And the player must give 6 feet buffer from the sideline also.
The inbound, push shot up on the rim doesn't go, and the rebound down for the Blue Devils. That was Forsberg with the rebound, and then quickly in transition, Leominster with the giveaway. Out of bounds, it's Gansett basketball. They'll get it right back.
Early season jitters and need to clean some things up, that's for sure.
Hardy running out of options, got a long 5 count and found Davis on the inbound. Hardy over her head, command of the floor. She'll come back for Janssens. Janssens to the top of the key, through the foul line, slash down the left side of the lane, swatted away by McDonald. Picked and now on the outlet, finds Nevard. 2 strong bounces, deflected away by Davis on the way up, and the loose ball picked up by Davis.
Davis doing a good job of holding the ground there. Putting up a good defensive wall, cutting off that avenue to the basket.
Janssens bounces the ball over to Weidel, and then Nevard with the little hip check, and then the hands go up. I didn't do it.
I
Well, there
didn't
wasn't
touch it.
anybody else here in one-on-one coverage.
I didn't push her with my hands, but she just fell down.
It's Hardy. Finds the inbound. Leominster doing a good job, almost with Bill Thomas, what we'd call during the football season, coverage sacks.
Yeah.
Situations where there's no place for the ball to go.
Absolutely, and when you can't contest the inbounds up close, it also gives you another defender mid-court to actually jam things up.
Cudahy, the sophomore, going to be looked at to lead the charge as far as controlling the basketball at the top of the key. Nevard, on the other hand, as the sophomore, a little bit bigger in size, she's going to be looked at to go inside and score for this Blue Devil team, and giveaway there on that possession. Missed shot for Gansett right back down the floor, and McDonald the loose ball rebound. Here's Forsberg. Head fake from Cudahy. Got the screen from Forsberg. Into the trees. Shot goes up. She draws the foul. Cudahy's got 2 shots coming up.
Nice aggressive move down the lane there.
We welcome those of you joining us in delay via Leominster Television. Happy to have you along with us as well all across the city. Comcast, Channel 9, and over on Verizon, Channel 32. This one will rim out for Cudahy on her first opportunity. And 39-33, Bill Thomas was far from a high-scoring affair on Monday night. And thus far, and almost halfway gone by here in the first quarter, I think points will be at a premium tonight.
Yeah, the girls are struggling a little bit, but both sides are struggling. So,
Yes.
Make for a close game if that continues.
Cudahy got good arc on that one. Caught the side rim, loose ball the rebound, and run down by McDonald. A little too strong trying to go back to Cudahy on that pass. Banged it off a knee, out of bounds. Gansett basketball. Kate, you've been in the situation that Coach Kylie Cleveland is in. Young varsity coach, young high school coach, period. Not easy to come in and establish. She's got 2 different varsity programs she oversees, both the varsity soccer program and the varsity basketball program. 2 sports that she played when she was in school. Not easy to come into a program, try to turn the culture over, change. Of course, you can't dump all the athletes. This isn't professional.
Right.
You've got the players you have. So as a young head coach, how do you establish that control of your new program?
I've never had the opportunity to be a varsity head coach.
I
so
knew you were
wanna
going to
make-
correct me on
I wanna
that,
make
as if,
sure that
I
everybody,
didn't know. Yes.
everybody knows that. But when you have the youth, sometimes you have that youthful exuberance, and you just kind of bring a fresh perspective to things. And one of the things here is that you're going up against, in Narragansett this week, a team that is, in an area that you don't normally play at least twice in a season. And so you're kind of going into the unknown with your entire team this week with the home and home. And so it's kind of a refreshing situation. But you have to work on fundamentals, especially in your first year as a head coach, regardless of what level. You need to figure out what it is that you have. And because it's such a truncated season, that's going to be even more imperative for a head coach. What are the pieces that I have? Work on the fundamentals. And in this type of a scenario and in this situation, because of COVID, make sure that your team is enjoying themselves, because with the truncated timetable and only having pod playoffs, you have to savor every opportunity that you have.
Well, and Coach Kevin Grudgefield talked about how truncated that timetable is the other night. Not only, of course, was there a limited number of practices and then a blackout period over the winter vacation where you couldn't have organized team activities. Now, once the game started, which was only a week after the return from the holiday break, you're allowed 3 practices,
And
2
boom.
games a week, and that's it. That's the extent.
One of the things I want to make mention of is, as a collegiate athlete, you're used to having those blackout periods. When you get into collegiate athletics, you have those time periods when you are allowed to have team activities, when you're not allowed to have team activities, and so it becomes incredibly difficult to kind of ramp things back up again in high school season, because you're used to going. Once you get started, you're going full bore to the end, and that's not the case this year.
Janssens presses out of the timeout. Leominster took the timeout. Now here's the bounce. Seeing some of her first action on the inside there. That was Gallagher.
We got an eye. Got an eye.
Somebody, oh yeah, McDonald away from the play. She caught either an elbow or maybe it's a lost contact, Kate. I see her trying to grab it there. Yeah. Loose contact lens, and so that will mean Ava McDonald will have to go to the sideline, meet with assistant coach Megan McNiff over there, try to get a little help there, as we're just 1 second under, halfway gone by here in quarter number 1. 2-all, Leominster and Narragansett. Again, remember, for those of you that didn't join us on Monday night, not only is there many modifications on the rules going on the floor, there's a lot of modifications on the timing of this sport during this modified season, so you will not be playing any form of halftime. You'll play first quarter, take a 2.5-minute break. You'll play the second quarter.
I've never played a halftime before, Todd. That's fun.
Take a 2.5-minute break. Then there is no halftime to go recharge yourself. You get 2.5 minutes of a mask break, right back out. Third quarter, 2.5 minutes. Fourth quarter, goodbye.
Nice steal.
And that's how things go, indeed.
Nice steal.
And Nevard was able to tip it away, and the steal made there on the play, Kate, was that Marwa that I saw? Yes, it was. Marwa with the left-hand dribble, back to Nevard. One bounce off the head fake, scraped glass, off angle, no. Cudahy tried to keep it alive, lost it out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Narragansett.
You know, one thing the MIA was generous with, gave him another 15 seconds on timeouts. Timeouts are now a minute, 15 seconds.
They do feel like they take all day, Bill Thomas. The jumper from the left wing won't go too strong for Gallagher. Davis, meanwhile, comes back across the baseline off the rebound, tried the reverse. She got fouled, and Davis has got 2 coming from the line.
The iron is not being kind tonight.
Covers on both baskets thus far, but what it's going to do is more emphasize those missed free throws, and both teams have had a significant number.
Yes, give me just a moment.
No, I know you're doing some calculations over there. Davis can't get that one to go, and another missed free throw.
I know both points have come off from the free throw line for Gansett.
Yes, from Allen. And then Leominster right now 0 of 2 from the line. Gansett 2 of 3. Looking for 3 of 4.
And that one too strong, bit of a line drive there, but the rebound pulled down by Hardy. Second opportunity doesn't go. Marwa tries to run it down, still a battle for the loose ball, out of bounds. And they say last touched by Leominster. It was Boulay with the touch as she was in there on the battle, but she was laying on the sideline. And so the ball will go back to Narragansett. Not much has broke Leominster's way in this first quarter.
Not much is broken Narragansett's way either.
I suppose that's accurate.
They are winning the foul battle right now.
The drive for Davis, almost lost the handle, but it ended up being a great find for Hardy, who then lost the handle off her own knee out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Leominster. A bit disconcerted, Bill Thomas, in the early
I will say
going.
Narragansett seems to have the better of the offensive flow. They just can't get those layups. They missed a number of shots in the paint, but they're doing a good job on the weave.
Feels like the early going of a boxing match. Both fighters, if you will, in the midst of the ring, just kind of pawing at one another and then moving and circling around the ring, not really landing big, quote-unquote, offensive blows in the early going, hence the 2-all score.
been plenty of action up and down. They just haven't been able to put the rock through the hoop.
All the actions have led to rebounds, turnovers, or steals, Billy.
All fantastic statistics.
Stats in every other category.
Every other category.
They help you win, but they don't add up on a
They
scoreboard
don't call
anywhere.
me Captain Obvious for nothing, yeah, people.
Pass a little too long there, and the ball picked by Janssens. Janssens poked away. Nice job running back into the play by Boulay. She was not thwarted by what happened down here on the other end. Could have gotten frustrated, could have given up on the play instead. Scrambled, got back into the play, and made her way down floor to poke the ball away. Gansett on the inbound. This time it was Hardy. Hardy for Janssens, then Davis. Shot up on the rim, no, and the rebound down for Nevard again.
Another missed shot in the paint.
Nevard, coast to coast, right down the left wing, and kind of gave up her momentum and traveled with the basketball. Ball back to Narragansett. 2:22 to play here in the first quarter. Knotted at 2. Last foul was a second on a player. Deuces are wild up on the old scoreboard, Kate.
Deuces are wild. I love that. Billy, have you ever heard that?
Never.
Anytime,
That's very original.
Two outs with a 2-2 count in baseball or softball. Deuces are wild.
Turnaround shot does not go for Harvard. Back rim,
Guess you had to
and
be there.
no.
Billy is not amused.
Another streaming media broadcast.
I'm
Our
concentrating.
friends at the Stratford Breakettes.
Stratford, Connecticut, everybody.
As we go under 2 minutes.
It's nothing like it.
Nevard gets a wide open look at a 3. Scrape the front rim, no. Tressaloni cleans up on the doorstep. Puts it through, and Leominster's on the board and ends a very long drought of offense on both sides. Leominster's doubled up at 4-2. And then a whistle and an immediate turnover by the Warriors. The ball will go back to Leominster. Tressaloni will inbound for Boulay as Coach Rusty Frederick looks for his team to move the basketball. Tressaloni for Nevard. Nice spin down the baseline. Got it on the front rim, and it didn't fall. Davis the rebound. In transition, nice bounce fine, but Haddix could not reel it in. Lost out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
We've got a question on Facebook Live. What number is Ava? Oh, somebody said number 15.
15, yes.
We got it.
Ava is currently on the sideline. If you weren't with us a few moments ago, where were you? We're taking attendance. No, in all seriousness, she had a contact lens issue as Tressaloni sees a 3 and hits.
She's got a quick 5 points here now.
On the official board, they only credited that for 2, but it was a 3 from where I was sitting. It's going to only go down as 2. Down the floor we go, under 60 seconds here in quarter 1.
Nice block right there by Davis.
Flurry of action into the middle. The one bounce shot up will not fall for Boulay, and the rebound for Davis. 40 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Davis throws on the brakes, takes a jumper from the right elbow. That one won't go, and a loose ball rebound for Boulay. Outlet for Tressaloni. She'll slow things down. It was poked away by Haddix into the backcourt. Leominster can go back and corral. 5-second differential, shot clock to game clock. 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. 14 now to shoot. Tressaloni, long 2. Back rim, no. Battle for the rebound is pulled in by Gallagher. Shot clock off. Final 10 seconds here of the first quarter. Back up 4 comes Hardy. Hardy stops. Finds a wide open Davis. One bounce reverse lay-in is good. And it draws the Warriors within 2 at the end of the first quarter here from the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster 6 and Narragansett 4 through 1.
We have people on the spot looking for Mike Griffin. Not here tonight, but we've been assured he will be back next week.
Indeed.
I believe I saw a comment. He said he'd see us on Monday, so I'm looking forward to that. We miss him. Mike, I know you're out there listening. Hi, Mike.
It's always fantastic. That is one of the things we said it the other night, and of course, things that you can see the great participation we're getting online. Have a conversation out there. That's the great part. It's a great big watch party tonight here on Rivalry Family Media. Chip in, chat with one another. It's always fantastic to see those conversations, and it's like a little combination, a basketball reunion each week.
And the family members that are obviously watching it in different remote areas that are commenting back and forth about the same kids sometimes, and it's nice to see them being able to interact together, but not necessarily sitting elbow to elbow, and we can help that happen. It's always a good thing.
What was the cliche early in the COVID world? Together, alone. I believe that was the going
or
rate.
alone together.
Or alone together, whichever
yeah.
order they made that go.
I think we're all alone together is how they were looking at it.
Something like that as we welcome you in courtside here at the end of one quarter. 6-4, Leominster's lead, 10 combined points. It's been a low-scoring battle, but you can definitely see where there have been opportunities on both ends of the floor for more points to be scored. Kate, what's standing out in the early going?
One of the things that obviously you noted in the early going, rebounding for Leominster coming at a premium. They've seemed to clean that up. There was a little bit of a flurry of action there at the end. Leominster right now 0 of 2 from the line, but they've had some good contributions. Tressaloni, as I said, had a flurry. She had 2 baskets there in the late going in the quarter. On Narragansett's side of the ball, they're doing pretty well. 2 of 4 as a team from the line. Right now, turnovers are an issue for both teams. Right now, Narragansett with 9 turnovers and Leominster with 10 turnovers after one quarter. So a lot to clean up, obviously. There's not a lot of fluidity right now. But again, you have to absolutely understand, number one, young team. Number two, on both sides. On both sides of the ball. And number two, they haven't gotten a lot of practice. When you're thinking about varsity athletes, most of the time you're talking about almost a 7-day-a-week job that these student athletes are used to. That has been so truncated this year. Even practice time, obviously, game schedules, everything about this year has been truncated. So they have to get to know each other on the court. It's going to take some time.
Creating that chemistry doesn't happen overnight, and it has certainly been truncated, may be the
Took
word
you and I
of the day.
18 years.
Indeed it did. Floor burns all around as Nevard battles for the loose ball. Tipped away. It's Gansett basketball. 12 seconds into this second quarter, and Leominster a giveaway right out of the quarter change.
I couldn't stand you for at least 12 of those 18 years. The general public probably empathizes with me.
They certainly understand at this point in time. 7:48 to play here in the second quarter. They are chasing the basketball. It not only went out of play, it went up underneath the bench. Bill, we're just not giving that any oxygen. You notice that? You just move beyond it.
I'll bring it up again. Don't worry.
I'm sure you
Get
will.
ready.
Back into the play comes Boulay, and she tips it away. And Kate, you made mention of it during the quarter
Our
break.
lack of chemistry?
No, would you stop, for crying out loud? Chloe,
Focus.
Exactly, focus. The contribution of Chloe Tressaloni coming in off the bench. That's one of my favorite stats to see, just what a team is able to do and how they're able to get players involved. Maybe you weren't one of the starting 5 on the floor, but right now, I don't know if for Coach Rusty Frederick or for either of these squads for that matter, there's a set starting 5. He's trying to find the best combination of 5 players. If you're able to come in off the bench, be that 6th man, make that contribution as soon as you enter the game and provide a spark, you may earn yourself a role, not just as the 6th player coming in. You might make it to player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that's one of those things. If you can show that you are able to give a contribution, a consistent contribution, especially in an area right now that we're seeing in this game, not necessarily in the last game, but in this game, points are at a premium. If you're able to score, you're going to find a place in that starting 5, no matter what. It's the age-old adage that you hear in baseball and softball. If you can hit the ball, you're gonna find a spot in the lineup.
90 to 50 and change. You didn't think points were at a premium on Monday night?
No, for the girls. The girls. I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
Tressaloni goes to the floor after taking the body contact.
I was going to say that you have an affinity for bench players because that's where you spent your whole career.
It is where I spent a lot. I certainly spent a lot of it on the floor, literally.
I notice I'm being quiet over here. I'm concentrating on my camera.
I don't know what happened, Bill Thomas.
Tonight.
I keep being very nice. I just want somebody to record that. 7:05 to play here in the second quarter as husbands across Central Mass certainly understand my situation.
They're all cringing, Todd, to be honest with you. So back to basketball.
And down we go as Hardy will take the one bounce dribble, but got above the shoulder with the carry, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
I'll be nice.
I
don't want to
appreciate
hurt
that.
your feelings.
You were commenting about Chloe Tressaloni. I believe she has 4, maybe 5 points tonight. They
She's
didn't give
got
her credit for the 3.
4/5.
But, coming off a 0-point game, but I'm sure she made some contributions the other night, and that's why she's on the floor. But you never know where the points are going to come from on any given night. She's the leading contributor tonight.
Leominster with another giveaway coming up floor there. That was Boulay, the freshman, trying to find a target, and she's been great on the defensive end, struggling a little bit with the ball handling. And Coach Rusty Frederick's going to talk things over with her. So a substitution there brings Kyra Forsberg, another freshman, back out onto the floor. There's going to be an overall theme here when you look at both rosters. Lots of freshmen, lots of sophomores, lots of them in crucial contribution situations.
Well, it's certainly going to be a learning experience, and by the time they're upperclassmen, their game experience is going to be significant. So it's about development right now.
6.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Tressaloni popped the shot there. She was bothered off the mark, and the rebound is down for Hardy. Hardy goes up floor, and McDonald making a return to action. Both eyes fully functional, makes the pick. And now in transition, it's Cudahy for Tressaloni. A three from the right corner, too strong. Rebound down for Davis. 6:10 to play here in the second quarter. Leominster's lead is +2. 6-4. Nice job by Gallagher. Got the ball on the left block for the Warriors. Hard bounce, take to the rim, lays it in and good. Hey, we're at 6-all in what is certainly going to be a back and forth battle. Forsberg got a good look at a three and hits.
No mistake about that one. 3 all the way, well behind the arc.
And she'll jump right on with the full court pressure. She was joined by McDonald. Janssens will bring the ball over half court for the Warriors. She'll swing it around, find Hardy. Hardy working on McDonald. Bounce to the low post. Now reverses the basketball. This is Janssens. Crossover, left side. Nicely played away there by Pompey. And then the shot will miss the mark. Tipped out of bounds. Leominster basketball. I do my level best not to, show any, favoritism, but you do know that my preference is always toward, some version of blue and white, and the loudest, most obnoxious you can possibly get. I love Cudahy's mask. Got the alternate Leominster L with the pitchfork going on the angle through it. One of my favorite alternate Leominster logos. Got that one from the girls' soccer program earlier this year. As Forsberg lines up a three and strokes it. Back-to-back three-pointers for Kyra Forsberg, the freshman, and Leominster's doubled up Narragansett again, this time at 12-6. Janssens gets a look at a left-handed three and responds.
That's the way to answer.
12-9,
Now
4.5 play in the second quarter. Absolutely. Here's Marwa with Cudahy playing catch. Now down inside. Forsberg drops in the post for McDonald. Shot up, fouled by Gallagher, and to the line goes McDonald to shoot two.
Good look right there. Flash in the lane. Gets herself a good opportunity. A couple of shots from the free throw line. That's awful quiet. To hear a pin drop.
Bill Thomas points out the obvious.
Can we pipe in some crowd like the NBA does?
No, see, I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's too loud.
You
I
know,
got to admit, it's too loud. I'd rather hear the players.
Todd considers this the cathedral of basketball.
Absolutely. It is without a doubt a cathedral of basketball right now.
I like the sounds of the game.
You can hear them.
These are the sounds of the game.
You can hear them, and we're not even amplifying them. We will have the amplification in place by next week.
The squeak cam has been put away.
That's right, just for the moment. As McDonald shorts that one, goes 1 of 2 on the trip. Now gets a deflection, gets another opportunity, misses, reloads, tried to bounce an interior pass. It got deflected away off Davis, they say, and it'll be Leominster basketball.
Got to get off from the baseline there, Mr. Official.
I was going to say they were going to put the ball in bounds underneath the baseline.
Reasoning right
there. No, I mean that's muscle memory taking over.
It is.
Where does the ball get put back into play?
I agree. I was talking to him about their hand whistles. The guy said he was tweeting through his mouth and trying to get noise once in a while. Forget to squeeze the whistle.
I can appreciate that. All of a sudden, you've got to make the noise with your fingers and not just be
memory.
able to blow. I mean, the whistle.
It's
I get it.
kind of funny, actually, talking to him.
We're all relearning how to do things here in one way or another. Strong take this time. Gallagher just not able to finish at the rim. Got the ball down on the rebound, though. Went back up with it. Got fouled. And it looks like Olivia Gallagher will go to the line for the Warriors.
So against the Warriors have had a number of good looks under the basket and just like Kay said, the iron is being very unkind to them tonight.
I imagine at the end of the first quarter, and we'll see it again at the end of this second quarter, Bill Thomas, both coaching staffs are going to talk about missed opportunities, the opportunities neither team was ultimately able to convert.
Gallagher misses her first. That last foul on McDonald, her first, team 5th for the Blue Devils.
Narragansett's been doing a good job on the offensive rebounding situation too, but just
yes.
even the putbacks have not fallen for them.
0 of 2 on the trip for Gallagher. And the rebound down for the Blue Devils. This is Marwa in transition. She'll find Cudahy. Faked the pass, popped a 3, rolled out. That one was 3/4 of the way down before it popped back out. Now in transition, Cudahy applies the pressure, knocked the first pass back. It went right back to Gallagher, and she'll slow things down for the Warriors. Not often you like to have your center bringing the ball over half, but successfully done by Gallagher. She'll drop it back for Hardy and then apply a screen. Shot off the mark. The rebound down for Weedle, and then a held ball called. The alternate possession favors Leominster.
Hand sanitizer coming in and going out.
Now that is one of the many things in this 10-page rule modification is on your way in and your way out, you must disinfect oneself. So industrial size disinfecting available at both sides of the official scoring table. How basketball has changed in 2020. You won't find any of those tack mats, to get the dust off your shoes, but you'll find giant vats of hand sanitizer as Cudahy buries a 3.
Somebody's got a favorite spot over there to the left side of the top of the key. I think that's 4 made baskets from that particular spot. Maybe 3, but definitely a favorite spot.
Leaner will not go, and the rebound down for Nevard. And look out, Leominster's opened up a 7-point lead as Marwa makes it 9. And a timeout taken by Coach Kylie Cleveland. She's seen enough. 18-9, Leominster's lead, 2:20 to play here in the second quarter. And this is certainly the one thing we have seen, and Bill Thomas, you talked about it during our last stoppage in play, and that is, of course, they've extended each timeout taken on the floor by 15 seconds. And be it that they kind of took halftime away, so to speak, went from 10, 15 minutes down to just the 2.5-minute mask break, in some ways, coaches are going to be forced to, if they want that more time to make adjustments and modifications, use more of their 5 timeouts that they are allotted.
Yeah, and it forces you to substitute more, too, because you don't have as much time for your kids to freshen up at halftime. But, hey, if it extends the bench like we saw in the Fall 1 sports where they modified, the number of players that were on the field, but more, it was addition by subtraction, it almost seemed like. If that can get more kids on the court here because they need a little more time on the bench because they're not getting that extra time, especially at halftime. I don't understand cutting halftime back by so much. But, they want to keep the games moving and get the kids separated again. And I can understand them cutting down on the congregating, during halftime. But, we'll see if it affects them going forward later in the season when maybe fatigue might be more of an issue.
Question about it. 18-9, Leominster's lead through 1 quarter and just a little over 3/4 of this second quarter. 2:39 to play until the figurative halftime. And Kate, you're checking the online reunion. Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, the nice thing is that we have a lot of people from both sides. And everybody's been really positive, making some really they're great. Go Julie, number 12. Go Taylor. Go Leominster. And then right back at it. Go Lady Warriors. I love that. Nice shot, Sarah. So really exciting. The Leominster varsity football coach has checked in. I see Mr. Rooney has checked in
Coach
as well.
Devin Gates, yes.
Yep, Devin Gates is in. So we got the whole gang's here.
Getting himself ready, of course, for
he's itching.
The next season of Coach's Corner coming up
he's
here
not itching
on
for that.
Rivalry Family
He's
Media.
not itching for
Where
that.
else would he want to spend his Monday nights? I mean, on Zoom with us. 3-pointer straight away is hit for Alyssa Hardy. Final 2 minutes here of the second quarter. Nevard comes right back down the floor and says, I can do that too. She'll lay it in and good. 2012, great year. Currently our score. Leominster +8, 150 to play in the second quarter. And the shot to the back down floor from Davis draws a foul. She's got 2 shots coming from the line as Leominster reached across. Looked like McDonald. Yep, McDonald got billed for that one.
All of a sudden, a track meet broke out here.
Yep, it's
Up
her
and down the court.
second. It's going to be team 6th.
And Davis catches the side of the rim on that one. As we mentioned, of course, it's like theme week here as far as how winter basketball has been scheduled. Home and homes, you play the same school twice in that week, once at home, once away, once boys, once girls, if you will. And so the broadcast for next week, it's Gardner Week, Leominster and Gardner right here on Rivalry Family Media. From the gym at Leominster High School on Martin Luther King Monday, it will be the girls who will have that opportunity to take center stage for Leominster and Gardner here at the gym on RFM, and then followed up Thursday of next week with the Leominster Gardner boys in the featured matchup here on RFM from the gym at Leominster High School.
We have a special holiday matchup, huh?
Indeed we do, and a
good.
renewal of a fantastic rivalry. The history of that Leominster Gardner basketball series, there were some fantastic battles back in the late 90s, early 2000s between those two programs. I know there's one of my favorite shots is, of course, a fantastic legend of Leominster, 1,000-point scorer, Kerry Conway, was part of our open for the longest of times during the years where we covered the games on Leominster TV, then known as BDSN, and that, of course, would be Kerry Conway getting tied up with a player from Gardner, going to the floor. We were up in the gym at Gardner. It looks out over. It's got a little balcony. It's a great little gym. And she goes to the floor hard with the player, who I won't remember who it was at the time, now 20-plus years later. But, of course, they get tied up, and one player kicks another, and it turns into this fantastic feistiness. And it pretty much epitomized how that Gardner-Leominster series always went. So we're looking forward to that renewal. Now, see, I didn't say that.
Having played with her,
Feisty might not be a bit of an understatement there.
She's a joy to work with. She really was. She's absolutely fantastic. She's going to be inducted into the Leominster Athletic Hall of Fame, and I can't think of anybody more deserving. And having the opportunity to work with her on the softball field and see her doing stuff that she loves, she's masterful.
Marwa picks a pocket there and is able to get the ball over to Nevard. Then there's a reach-in foul. Leominster will maintain possession. Foul line extended to the right sideline. 1:10 to play here in the second quarter. 21-13, Leominster on top. We've got scoring updates from out in Baldwinville tonight. We'll get you that score of the boys matchup between these two schools. Indeed they are. At the next stoppage in play as Forsberg misses the lay-in. Final 60 seconds of this second quarter, and a walk called, and the ball will return to Leominster.
It's turnover number 19 for Narragansett.
59 and 7/10 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Thanks to Dr. Steve Dubzinski, principal here at Leominster High School. The update, 4:35 to play in the third quarter. Leominster on top of Narragansett in the boys matchup, 38-24 from Baldwinville tonight. Thanks so much, Dr. Dubs, for checking in with the update there. I'm sure we'll get an update as that one progresses as well. It's always great to have a reporter on the scene, as well as being the on-site administrator as well. 40 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Nice give and go work on the inside. Well, Stillman got the shot up. She got fouled. She's got 2 shots coming from the line.
As we saw on Monday, he is just so stellar at crowd control, they can't live without him.
It had to be a lonely bus ride with the student bus, the fan bus going up there. Him, the bus driver. You could pick any seat you wanted, but you were able to keep him under control.
Oh, man.
Always important to have that fan bus.
Cudahy picks up her first. It's going to be team 7th for the Blue Devils.
Got it up on the rim, did Stillman, but could not get it to fall. 21-13 our score. 38 and 4/10 seconds to play in the second.
Sometimes you're just good at things.
Absolutely.
And crowd control is something he's just good at, even if there is no crowd.
Is it ground control to Major Tom? I was thinking crowd control to Dr. Dubs. No, not going to work.
Still no.
Yeah, I'm no Ari Milber. I'm not going to get that musical reference that's going to work on this one. All right, back down floor. Ball bounced on the inside. It's Marwa. Gets tied up on the inside this time by Stillman. Bounce back out to Nevard, and then she got fouled. Little hand check there by Weedle. Leominster will have the inbound from foul line extended, and that will kill the shot clock for the remainder of this first half, second quarter, call it what you will. 21-13 Leominster's lead, and that is the foul du jour. I mean, it says 7-6 in favor of Leominster.
I think that was the 6th.
That's 6.
It was on 5. They changed it to 6, I believe.
And the debate continues out on the floor as folks are looking for foul shots that they're not going to get.
They're good.
Kate's got 6. Official books look like they have 6.
The scoreboard says
Nope.
6.
I got 6.
Yeah, scoreboard certainly seems to say 6.
I've got 6.
Well, the nice part is with no fans here and nothing else,
Woo!
you have great opportunities here for everyone to check it. How many fouls do you have? How many fouls do you have? You just hold up your number of fingers as the story goes.
I've got
People
6.
at home are like playing the at-home scoring edition going, I've got 6 here at home. 24 and 7/10 seconds to play here in the second quarter. It'll be a Leominster inbound on the 6th foul overall committed by the Warriors. Cudahy will pull the trigger. She'll drop it inbounds for MIAA. And now it's Cudahy. Cudahy working on Jansen's. Defenders switch. The drop inside. It was a pass missed by Pompey, picked by the Warriors, and back down floor it goes. This is Jansen's as we go to 10 seconds and counting. Loose ball. Nevard's got it. 5 seconds to play in the quarter. Nevard, the run out with 4. Bounce pass to Cudahy. Then MIAA at the buzzer. It's good if it goes, and it will not fall. Through one half of play, or at the conclusion of the second quarter, pick your favorite phrase. Leominster on top of Narragansett by a 21-13 score.
Not a bad first half. Girls picked up the pace a little bit there, pretty much right where they were at halftime on Monday. We'll have to see what the second half brings.
We mentioned so many ways to play the live broadcast, exclusive live home of Leominster boys and girls basketball here at the gym at Leominster High School, right here on Rivalry Family Media. Streaming live at facebook.com/Media Rivalry on Mondays and Thursday nights for the next 5 weeks here on RFM. Game will be available on demand at YouTube. Search, like, subscribe today. Rivalry Family Media out there on YouTube. And then social media and scheduling updates available on Twitter at Media Rivalry for that. Local cable broadcast, thanks to our great partners at Leominster TV, available in delay. Comcast, Channel 9, and Verizon, Channel 32. So many ways to be a part of this exciting season when, of course, Bill Thomas, you are not allowed to physically be here. But the great part is you can watch it live, you can rewatch it again, and then you can watch so much more action from around the region. And I think that's the undervalued part of what has gone on here. The one thing that's come to this is so many more types of media have gotten involved with being a part of these broadcasts and being a part of how things are. And we've seen so much more Central Massachusetts sporting events getting some form of media coverage during this difficult COVID season.
Well, you see more and more schools enacting their own audio-video programs, probably advancing them somewhat than what they might have planned in the past, but also the local community access televisions giving the high schools and the youth sports, I think, more accessibility to their programming. And much like we see here, LTV, they were with us from Doyle Field to provide all the content. 3-4 different ways you can catch Leominster sports, and I think other schools and other districts are catching on to what we're doing. I don't want to say we're the leader, but we're in the forefront of providing content to our fans. And if anybody else follows what we're doing, I kind of take that as a compliment.
Certainly, schools are certainly seeming to find more and more ways to reach that content out to the viewers. And of course, be it that the viewers, i.e. the fans and parents, can't physically be here inside of the buildings during this winter season, got to find creative ways. I give the schools a lot of credit all across Central Massachusetts, finding ways either through Rivalry Family Media, their local community access station, to reach their viewers in one way or another. Kate, through 2 quarters, certainly a lot more scoring in quarter number 2.
Yes, right now, Leominster up by 8 points, 21-13 as it says. Right now, notable statistics, team statistic for Narragansett, 1 of 8 from the line. Leominster is 2 of 5. Right now, high scores for Leominster, Tressaloni with 4, Nevard with 4, Cudahy with 4, Forsberg with 6. On the opposite side of the ball, Janssens, Davis, and Hardy, each with 3 points.
And away we go with the second half of action, or the third quarter, here at the gym at Leominster High School. 21-13, Leominster's lead as we begin the second half. The drive for Pompey. She gets fouled on the strong take, and Pompey will go to the line for 2.
Pompey's been kind of quiet tonight. Good to see her open up the second half with some action around the basket.
Allen picks up her third team first for the Lady Warriors in the second half.
And Pompey can't get that one to roll. Now the players will take their spots. You've been seeing this. The first free throws, again, this is all about limiting contact, limiting proximity. They're in situations where they want to make sure that the players stay outside of the lane during the first free throw, or the first and second if it was a 3-shot foul. And then the last one, when the rebound would happen, the players can take their spots on the low 2 boxes. That's it. Pompey misses the second, but a battle to the floor. Held ball, alternate possession, which was adjusted, will now favor the Warriors on the arrow.
We're now being FaceTimed by Dr. Stephen Dubzinski.
If only there was a way I could tie him into this broadcast, I'd
Talk
find
to
a
him.
way. But in the meantime, we will at least find a way to include as he cheers along here at home. Hang on, why not? Let's have a little fun. We've got a split screen here for a reason. We can see there's Dr. Dubzinski in Baldwinville cheering on and a part of this broadcast as well. If only I could tie his audio in. Technology's a wonderful thing.
Technology's out of control.
I mean, there's so many ways to be a part of this broadcast. Thank you so much, Doc. Good to get you out there.
Got an injured player here. Just going to the bench.
He was on the fan bus. Wow. It's
It is
quite
confirmed.
the life you lead,
Is
sir.
that the fan van? What do you need a
Fan
bus
bus.
for?
Certainly do
Oh, my
appreciate that
goodness.
as we continue on here. Hey, you got to have some fun here. There's no question about that. It is fantastic. We said this the other night. If there's nothing else you can take away from this COVID season, being able to just have a season and have a little bit of fun for everybody involved is such an important point as well. That shot off the mark from Nevard got tipped out of bounds, and the ball will favor the Warriors. 7:12 to play here in the third quarter.
He's still on FaceTime with you. What is he doing? What is he doing?
Trying to find a way to give us an
He's
update
giving us
there.
a scoreboard.
Where it looked like it was 50-34 Leominster in the waning parts of the third quarter there, as Leominster has increased their lead out in Baldwinville
Yep,
tonight.
50-35.
50-35, but just into the fourth quarter. 7:45 to play in the fourth quarter. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Coach.
Dr. Steve Dubzinski checking in with us. He had originally texted us, not funny that he rode the fan bus on the way down. Here's the bounce to the right elbow. Nevard, the shot short, bounce inside, and the loose ball picked up and going in transition. This is Hardy, down floor. The dribble drive, body contact there. Davis got the shot away, but she contacted McDonald after the shot. 2 shots coming up here for Davis. 6:40 to play here in the third quarter.
I mean, how cool is that? He's out there in Baldwinville. He's on Facebook. He's watching us on Facebook.
Yep.
We're watching him. He's showing us what's going on there. Yeah, I mean,
Technology,
you gotta love the technology.
run amok, Bill
gotta
Thomas.
love
But
the
hey, that's the way we're able to provide updates all around on Narragansett Leominster Week here in Pod 6 of winter basketball in 2021. Davis missed the first, second at the line now. Shot away, that one won't roll for her either, and the rebound is down for Pompey. Nevard comes back for Forsberg, squares up for a wide open 3. Splash from straight away. Wow. Kyra Forsberg just off the left side of center, Bill Thomas. Deadly from that mark.
That's her third.
It seems to be a favorite location for all the girls because they've just reversed course from the other end of the court. Now they're on our side at the top of the key. Fire away, I say.
Absolutely. Cudahy, bounce to the foul line. Kick Nevard, and she shifted the feet before dribbling the basketball. The walk and the ball will go back to Narragansett. 6:07 to play here in the third quarter. 24-13 Leominster on top. I feel like that game, the boys' game out in Baldwinville, started at 4 this afternoon. They're already in the fourth quarter. We're just 2 minutes gone by here in the third. They could not only be done, they could be back here by the time they reach that point.
Hey, you know, they're not allowed in the gym, but Mike LeClaire checking in, saying that Billy and Todd sound good. No, I'm just kidding. Me too. Thanks, Mike.
Always great to hear from our fantastic friends in local media as well. Ashley Green is here on site. It's always nice to get, I mean, if there's one thing that's come out of this COVID modifications and everything that's going on, is getting to check in with all of our friends out there in the media world who are out covering other games. Yep. I know Mike LeClaire was out working in Bolton the other night. He was covering an Neshoba game. Lots of things going on out there, and of course providing an invaluable service to the communities all across central Massachusetts.
Newly engaged Ashley Green at that. She's looking for wedding photographers. That's going to be a trick, huh?
That's going to be a
Being
difficult
a wedding
conversation.
photographer and needing a wedding photographer. Not an envious position.
No, certainly not.
The critiques will be mighty.
Gallagher's shot will go.
I believe first points of
It
the
is.
second half.
That's
against
true,
it.
Bill Thomas.
So far as I can tell, indeed it is.
So far as you can tell, what are you looking at? You have no stats to look at. Billy and I are the only ones
Just
that
watching
know.
the scoreboard. Battle for the rebound. The foul called, I believe, on the inside by Jansen's. Kate, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty with your monitor there for some reason. It's not Kate. Again, she's doing about 10 jobs over here, as is Bill Thomas. Me, I'm just trying to conduct somewhere in between here. But a little technical difficulty with the clock. Now we're back on as we move forward. The pick here, going down floor, it's Weedle. Down floor, excuse me, that was Boulay. Boulay went on the inside, found what looked like Smith, and she finished with the lay-in. 26-14, 5:10 to play here in the third quarter. This is Jansen's. Bouncing the inside, Gallagher as they play catch. Jansen's three from the left corner won't go. Tip and battle for the rebound, and it's ripped down this time on the inside by Pompey. And now Pompey tries to dribble it out of trouble. She'll find Forsberg up floor. Under 5 to play here in the third quarter. McDonald over her head. Snaps a pass to Forsberg. Forsberg away to Pompey. Three from straight away, won't go. Great crash on the rebound by Boulay. Boulay feeds out, finds Pompey. 2 missed shots, then a third, and she finishes.
Talk about staying with it. Lady Blue Devils have quietly opened up a 14-point lead here, doubling against the score.
Pompey, the picture of persistence on that possession.
You like alliteration, don't you?
Indeed I do. Ball bounced into the Gansett bench. Out of bounds, Leominster basketball.
Now, Billy, you talk about some more scoring here in the second half by especially on Leominster's side of the ball. Turnovers are way down right now for both sides, so there's a little bit more fluidity, some more rebounding, especially on Leominster's end. They're doing a little bit better job, especially with the offensive boards. So you're seeing some of those mid-game adjustments that Coach Rusty Fredericks has been putting in, seeming to pay off right now for the Blue Devils.
Last-minute substitutions from the Blue Devil bench. Brings Nevard back into the game. Strong take by Smith. No finish at the rim, but McDonald the rebound from the left side. Up strong, got fouled. 2 shots coming from the line.
Nice job by McDonald there. Weak side rebound. No hesitation, going right back up with it. Picking up the 2-shot foul.
Davis picks up her first team second of the second half for the Warriors.
And McDonald pushes the first shot up, and that one will fall. 4:05 to play here in the third quarter. Leominster's lead is 29-14. We got a shooting substitution as McDonald will come out after taking this free throw. She'll be spelled by Laura Young. One of the things that certainly has stood out to me thus far, Bill Thomas, about Coach Rusty Frederick, in addition to having a young program and trying to find the right combination, everybody is seeing action. There is a constant shift moving around. Bodies splayed on the floor on that rebounding action as Gallagher and Nevard barrel roll together. Ball out of bounds, and it will be Warrior basketball.
You know, I'll have to say that possibly the math situation need a little break. That could force additional substitutions, but it really does extend your bench.
I can't hardly get up the stairs with the mask on, so.
Tell me, I can't ride around in my car with it on.
Haddix drops it
With
to
no
Stillman.
action.
Doesn't go. Shot off the mark. Everybody held. The quick whistle on the alternate possession. And the arrow stays Warrior basketball. 3:47 to play here in the third quarter. 29-14, Leominster's lead. And there's the inbound. Davis gets a look at a 3.
Ooh.
The great lower body kick off the mark. Nevard the rebound from the left side, and she presses the issue. Down the right sideline, into a double team, and rolls it over the front rim and good.
Nice aggressive move right there. Never hesitated.
Was
Taking
that
it right
Nevard?
to the hoop.
Yes, it was. 31-14, 3:24 to play here in the third quarter.
Look at that hands-up defense. That's the way to trap it. Good job right there by the Lady Blue Devils.
Near side, Davis into a double team, shorted the mark, and Nevard got the loose ball rebound. Kick up floor, deflected and picked by Hardy. Hardy going the other way, a wide open Davis. Leominster powerless to scramble back into the play, and Davis will lay it in and good. Final 3 minutes of the third quarter, and that flurry favors the Warriors at 31-16.
So a lot of positive cheering here on the Facebook Live chat. Both sides, Warrior fans and Blue Devil fans. Oh, pretty fingertip.
Indeed. That's the roll for Nevard, who floats it up with the scoop and go.
That was a confident-looking move right there. It's great to see that.
And then she immediately motioned to the bench that she may need a spell, as she might have gotten whacked and lost her air. Davis, a three. Side rim, Nevard battle for the rebound. She got it, and she's slow to head up floor as the charge will go forward with Tressaloni.
She's
Now
gasping.
Boulay. Yeah, she absolutely is. Here's the
she's
drive.
holding her stomach. She
Push
has the wind
shot.
knocked out
Smith
of her.
will not go. I think she caught an elbow on the inside on that previous possession. Meanwhile, Davis flies down the right wing, lays it in and good. And now Coach Rusty Davis will spend the timeout in order to make the substitution.
Oh, Coach Fredericks?
Yes.
Playing 4-on-5 right there with the injured player and just waiting for a stoppage, but action continued. Has to use a timeout.
Smartly spends that timeout. 2:01 to play in the third quarter. 33-18. Leominster's lead here inside the gym at Leominster High School on this Thursday
Ashley
night.
Green is nearby, newly engaged, looking for wedding photographers. She is, everybody. And again, not an
She's
easy...
interviewing all candidates. She is absolutely interviewing all candidates.
On Facebook Live, I'm going to find you a photographer, because not an easy find for a photographer to get a photographer. I can't be wrong about that, can I?
I have no doubt.
She is dying right now.
She's been a great friend to RFM as she, of course, joined us on Press Row during the early parts of the COVID season, if you will, or
So
the COVID experience
if
for all of us.
anybody is up for the challenge to be Ashley
The
Green's wedding photographer
for the sport photographer of North Central Massachusetts.
Yeah, and southern central. She's
yeah,
part
absolutely,
of
part
the,
of the
she's down in
Telegram
southern, yeah.
Sounds like a tall task.
So I'm throwing it out there to the universe, Miss Ashley Green. We're gonna. I see. She is so embarrassed. She is a behind the camera kind of gal.
Well, you know, what's the reality? If she doesn't find a photographer, she's going to be carrying a camera.
Yeah.
They do come with lovely white cases, though, that could awfully match
Yep.
or accent the right outfit. So we certainly appreciate that. Ashley being a great sport.
Give a wave, Ashley.
She's like, no.
She's so enthused.
She's so enthused.
She is to be a part of this one.
She's never going to talk to us ever again. But we had fun while it lasted.
Absolutely. No question about it. As we
Love
come
it.
out of the timeout, Nevard will hang on the bench. Coach
I
Frederick
think
trying
I'm
to
going to
figure
get
out where the
blocked from
inbound
her
is.
Instagram right away.
No, absolutely
She's going on
not.
Instagram and blocking me right now.
Marwa will handle the inbounding duties. She'll find Cudahy. And away we go, right to left with Leominster's possession for the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. 33-18, Leominster on top. Into the corner, it's Tressaloni. Tressaloni for Smith. Smith around the world. Into the corner now for Tressaloni again. Tressaloni trapped on that 2-3 zone. Looking to aim for that foul line, roughly speaking, to break this 2-3 zone opportunity. Marwa, the dribble drive. 4 to shoot. Smith to nobody in particular. Shot clock violation is going to be the result. 1:27 to play here in the third, and Leominster with the giveaway. Great 2-3 defensive play there. All around team defense played by the Warriors.
Yeah, just no way to get the ball to the interior forwards and no outside shot available.
That's from the outside
Indeed it
for
is.
Haddock's. Ball back to the Blue Devils.
And back down floor. Here's the jumper for Cudahy. She will hit the 2. It was a long 2 as she stepped across the line when she left the ground. Final minute here of the third quarter. Inside, this is Allen. Allen backs down against Young and then goes to the floor. And Young is going to get called for the foul. 52 and 2/10 seconds to play here in the third. First foul of the day called against Young, the junior. The one bounce inside this time, picked by Marwa. Marwa outlets for Cudahy, bounce pass for Tressaloni. About a 10-second differential shot clock to game clock. Smith fires up a 3 and just kept her toes outside the line, and she hits.
I really do think perimeter shooting has been the difference maker here in the second half for the Lady Blue Devils. Narragansett's defense has been excellent throughout the entire game, but the Leominster Blue Devils doing a much better job along the perimeter here in the second half, most especially, and points are starting to rack up.
Allen with the strong take to the basket. She got fouled, and Warriors will maintain possession with the foul on the floor. Foul line extended to the right, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, it feels like the Blue Devils have scored more points in this third quarter from three-point land than anywhere else on the field.
No question about it. Final 15 seconds here of the third quarter, 20-point basketball game. This one hops to the near side. Hardy for Davis, up strong, fouled, and Davis has got 2 more coming from the line. 6 9/10 seconds to play here in the third quarter. And Davis has got 2 more at the line. The opportunities, Kate, for Davis have been plentiful. She's got a good, strong take to the basket. Having trouble finishing at the line, but able to hit her first.
And she has been a difference maker for the Warriors team thus far tonight. She's got 8 points. She is the high scorer right now for the Lady Warriors. She has done the yeoman's amount of the scoring tonight for her team.
2 of 2 on that trip, and that's the kind of situation the Warriors are going to need to hit these free throws to get back in the basketball game. 38-20. Final 2 seconds. Leominster's not going to get a shot off on the possession. And Coach Rusty Frederick immediately looks at the players on the floor, points at his eyes, and then points up at the board. Somebody's got to be aware of that one. 3 quarters in the books from the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster with a 38-20 lead here inside the gym at Leominster High School through 3 quarters. And it's been, Bill Thomas, a game that Leominster really, it seemed like first quarter nobody took command of the situation. Second quarter, Leominster started to take command of the situation, and then in the third quarter, Leominster really started to hit those 3-point baskets we were talking about, not only hitting the 3-point baskets, but then started to push the issue on the inside, add some points to the board, and now they've pulled themselves away in this basketball game to have an 18-point lead through 3 quarters.
Yeah, you know, they had an 8-point advantage at halftime, and both teams struggled there at the beginning of the third quarter, much like they did to open the game, but Leominster quietly built themselves up a double-digit lead, have built on that, and continue to maintain that and even grow it. The 18-point lead right now, and Leominster playing very good basketball end-to-end.
Indeed, they are. Kate will have her through 3-quarter scoring update coming up in a matter of moments. As you can see her calculating away, trying to get us the latest statistics. And again, we remind you next week, it's Leominster Gardner Week here on Rivalry Family Media. Boys and girls basketball right here on RFM. We'll have that action coming up for you beginning next week on Martin Luther King Day Monday, where it's Gardner girls and Leominster girls, 6 o'clock on Monday night right here on RFM. We'll be on the air at 5:45 with the live stream for that one. And then coming up on Thursday, just 4 days later, it's Leominster and Gardner boys right here, 6 o'clock the tip-off next Thursday, and available about 15 minutes beforehand at 5:45 on that broadcast right here on Rivalry Family Media on Gardner Leominster Week here on RFM. Kate, what stands out to you statistics through 3 quarters?
Right now, Davis for the Warriors with 9 points. She's by far the high scorer. 3 of 8, though, she has been from the line as a team. 7 of 16 from the charity stripe have been the Lady Warriors. On the Blue Devils side of the ball, let me just change this and this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different people have made contributions to the scoring sheet today for the Lady Blue Devils. You talked about it throughout the game, how important those points are from off the bench.
Count the basket for McDonald plus the foul. Sorry about that, Kate.
You're
Go
fine.
ahead.
No. And that was it. We're good.
As Leominster doubles up once again with that basket, plus now at 40-20 over the Warriors.
Blue Devils elected not to occupy the lane.
Yeah, better to get back on defense. I mean, it does.
Quick team meeting over there. Rusty had 3 of his players over there talking strategy during that setup.
Every moment right now matters, Bill Thomas. education aplenty. Here's the drive, inside, body contact, fouled is Hardy. Hardy's got 2 shots coming from the line.
McDonald not happy. She's being fairly demonstrative in the fact that she said that she had her hands up, her arms up. But that one is going to be her 4th, and it's going to be team 7th for the Blue Devils.
Your arms can be up, but then you make contact with your lower body. It amounts to about the same thing.
I'm not telling her that. You can go down there and tell her that. That is all you,
Warriors
Susie
will be
Q.
shooting foul shots the rest of the way. We'll have to see if they can take advantage of that.
I've got her in a
No
scrape
question
over
about
you.
it. No, and Bill Thomas, that's going to absolutely be a necessity at this point, is to shoot their way from that foul line back in, and going 2 of 2 on that trip certainly helps. Going to need to keep doing that, connect those opportunities.
So 9 of 18. They're at 50% right now.
Nevard walked with it as she ran into a place where she gave up her dribble, was too close to Gallagher, had to try to fall back to make the pass, and she planted her pivot foot and gave the ball up. Turnover, ball back to the Warriors. Cudahy missed the reach. The drive inside for Hardy. Loose ball to the floor. Gallagher first to it. She finds her way out for Weedle. Weedle's, no, check it. Jansen's 3 on the rim. Doesn't go. Put back for Hardy. Doesn't go either. And the rebound down for Nevard, who outlets up floor for Tresaloni. Tresaloni, 3 from the right wing. Front rim, no. Nevard, the one-handed rebound. Shot up, and she walked with it. The ball will go back to Narragansett.
Tough call right there. Trying to control that rebound, get in position. A little shuffle of the feet, turn towards the basket.
And here comes Jansen's right back down floor. Coming up post-game here on Rivalry Family Media, we will be joined by Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick, courtside here at the gym. Looking forward to talking to him for the first time in this 2021 season. Get his thoughts on the action tonight and the action through week 1 of this 5-week basketball season. Cudahy, headman pass finds its way to Tresaloni. Then for Nevard, and she walked again. 3 consecutive traveling violations down the floor for Nevard. She's frustrated, and she's going to get a chance to think about it.
She's
pivot
dejected, I think, is the best way to
That
put
pivot
it.
foot's becoming a problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes, of course, once they get you once, then they get you again.
Now
Now
they're
every time
looking.
you touch the ball,
Yep, they're
they've
looking.
figured it out.
So you just take a spell.
Absolutely.
Coach Frederick taking her out. Just take a minute. Take a spell.
Remember, even the leaders on this Blue Devils girls squad here in 2021
young.
are very young. Sophomores at best, playing time in that 6-7 role last year. Certainly this is a much more, say, high-profile situation for them, and we'll talk with Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick about that one
No seniors
when we see him
on,
post-game.
no seniors on the team, on the roster, and I think
That's correct, Bill Thomas.
2 returning full-time varsity players and 1 that closed out the season with them. So
And on
definitely a young squad, an inexperienced squad.
On the other side of the ball for the Warriors, they list only 2 seniors, one Callie Weedle and Alyssa Hardy, the 2 guards. Oh, 3.
Sarah Jensen's
Oh,
also
Sarah
a senior.
Jansen's. If I could read, that'd be
No,
fantastic.
it's okay, Kate. And of their starting lineup, I mean, you want to talk comparison shopping. In their starting lineup tonight for Narragansett and Coach Kylie Cleveland, she started 3 seniors, 2 juniors. Leominster started a single junior in Ava McDonald, 2 sophomores in Nevard and Cudahy, and 2 freshmen in Forsberg and Pompey. That's the difference in experience, at least in years. But of course, you could be a junior and maybe this is your first varsity experience, depending on how your years have gone by. So certainly,
Ooh,
inexperience was the name. Yeah, that was definitely a sachet step to the right. Walk call, then
You
the
know,
ball will
if
go
I
back to
can, if I
Narragansett.
can pick it out, you know it's blatant.
A little difficult there. That's all right. Again, come back
Timeout.
on or about week 3, and you'll be amazed at the development you're going to see. I mean,
What, my ability to
no,
to
not
make
that at
calls?
all, Kate. No, I mean, but when you really think about it, right? I mean, with the amount of games that are usually played at this point in the season,
Yeah.
when things are starting to get serious, if you were to put this on a normal calendar year, it's like
People are in mid-season form.
it's like before Christmas on a normal basketball year, you know, where basically each team has played a couple of games, you've gotten out on the floor, you're getting ready for the holiday tournaments. Like, that's kind of where we are. And oh, by the way, we're heading toward Martin Luther King Day in mid-January.
Yeah, most of the time you would see these teams, number one, the coaching staffs would know exactly what, what weapons they have, exactly what the capabilities are. of the student athletes out there, they're still trying to get their feet underneath them on both sides here. And so you have a lot of unknowns. You've got a lot of things that you're trying to figure out. And so it's a situation where you're not going to be in midseason form in the middle of January in COVID 2021. Just not going to be feasible.
And that is one of those things that they've come to accept through this possibility and through this time in this season thus far. And Bill Thomas, through week one, although not quite to the conclusion of week one, in the home-and-home doubleheader here, what have you seen? What have you seen thus far in basketball? Certainly they are behind the developmental curve from a normal year.
I'm glad to see that the kids seem to have adapted to the mask rules. The officials are letting them play. And the critiquing of the rules hasn't really changed the game all that much,
Nope.
I'm happy to say.
One of the things that you'll notice, especially for those of us that work in education, it's not the students or the student athletes that tend to struggle with the masks. And so they've been doing a really nice job anytime we've had our students in the building at Assabet Valley in Marlboro, where I teach, or in Watertown, where Todd teaches. The students are incredibly adaptable. They are still in a time in their lives when people tell them what to do. For the most part, they comply.
Ball to the inside. Nice give and go work there. Smith finds the inside for Boulay, who finishes. 44-22, 4.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. And Kate, I will echo your point and actually double underline emphasize it, because I'd burn my mask in a heartbeat, although I understand the reasons for it. If I spend one more day fogged up with one or two lenses on either my sunglasses or obviously my regular glasses at any moment in time, yeah, I'm all set with this. Bring on the vaccine.
Yep.
Ball bounce to the inside. Back down floor. Shot up will not go this time on the inside for Davis. And then a foul on the rebounding action. Crashed too strong. It'll be Leominster basketball.
A little frustration foul there by Davis, I think, after that missed shot.
Leominster's lead is 20, 4:10 to play here in the fourth quarter. Bounce pass to the inside. This is Forsberg. Deflected back toward the outside. Smith back top of the key. Boulay. Swing to the near side. Marwa drop it off Pompey. And everybody's had a touch save. Forsberg on the possession. Now she gets a touch at the foul line. Nice way to break the 2-3, but then goes back outside. Smith will corral, make the drive. No go. Swatted away there on the inside by Hardy. Now a battle for the basketball. Jansen's has it. Held ball the call, and she had it outright. A quick timeout could have saved the possession for the Warriors, but meanwhile, it's called a held ball, and the possession will go back to Leominster on the arrow. Marwa breaks the side stack. She'll go to Smith. As we wind down to 3:35 to play here in the fourth. Inside. It was Pompey. Forsberg knocked away. Leominster maintains possession with 12 to shoot. Marwa inside pass.
No help.
And Forsberg dribbled away from the rim, and Boulay launches a three too long. And then Marwa the foul as the action started to transition. And that will put, I believe,
That's
that was
number 8.
number 8. Yeah, that should come back down floor, although it was on the rebounding action. No, there it is. Yeah, it's 1-1.
Loose ball foul. Get him down here.
So down the floor they come. 3:20 to play in the fourth quarter.
And shoot the 1-and-1.
Gansett is in the bonus. Hardy's first will go. 3:20 to play in the fourth quarter, 44-25.
Hardy's been 3 of 3 from the line in the fourth quarter.
They're certainly going to look to extend the basketball game here. The longer this plays out, the more it benefits the Warriors. 2 of 2 on that trip for Hardy. Give and go work to perfection there as Boulay got the entry pass this time from Forsberg, back to Forsberg, and the finish at the rim.
You get the defender to turn that head outside, and then a quick re-entry pass. Nice job right there.
Forsberg with 11 points now for the Lady Blue Devils.
And every single one of those of value at key moments in the basketball game. Shot will not go for Weedle. And then the rebound down through Forsberg, and in transition, Boulay. Boulay all the way to the rim, doesn't go. Put back though for Marwa. finishes. Smallest player in that jump for the ball, Bill Thomas, and
it.
Marwa wanted it more.
Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth. Smallest player on the court. She jumped right between the trees.
And then maybe over pursued that loose ball a little bit, committed the foul coming across the arm.
That'll be number 9 for the Lady Blue Devils. That's Marwa's second. Again, 9 for the Lady Blue Devils in the second half. And that's going to send Davis back to the line, who is 3 of 8 in the game from the charity stripe.
I think Gansett's going to look back at this game. They definitely had their opportunities in the paint, around the basket, and from the charity stripe.
Their foul
shooting. A lot
shooting.
of missed opportunities for Gansett tonight.
Their foul shooting has been pretty darn good. They were at 7 of 16 at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they have been 5 for 5 from the line in the fourth.
Needed it to come on just a little bit sooner here. 2:31 to play in the fourth. 48-27. Certainly a chance to find their way back into the game. You need almost a 2-for-1 every time down the floor, if not better. 3 for none would certainly be to their benefit as well. That one a miss, 1 of 2 on the trip for Davis, but a rebound important and down in the hands of Hardy. Past 2.5 to play here in the fourth. Hardy gets it right back from Weedle. And then Marwa somehow picks a pocket. Up floor, finds Young. Young finds a wall, and Weedle will pick up the giveaway. Weedle gives it right back this time to Marwa.
Two-man, two-lady game right here of steals.
And then Tressaloni traveled with it as she went to commit to the pass. Her lower body committed before she gave up the basketball.
Turnover number 11 for the Lady Blue Devils in the second half. That number is improved from the first half thus far, but not by much.
Final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter here. Entry pass, Davis, one bounce, turnaround doesn't go. Well short, and Smith picked up the ball on the baseline. Smith finds the lead man down floor. It's Forsberg leading the break, and she'll finish at the rim. Brings her to 13, Kate, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's correct.
See,
Yep.
And you say I don't pay attention.
I just say you can't add.
That too. Haddix, skip pass, come to the near side corner. Finds its way inside. This is Hardy in a double team. Baseline drive. Sends a bullet across the baseline. Too hot to handle for Weedle. And the ball out of bounds and back to Leominster.
Have we gotten any updates from the boys' game?
I was expecting an update out there. I'm sure we will hear once that score goes final. Leominster in that early on part of that fourth quarter had a 20-point lead. As there's a giveaway, Forsberg right into the hands of Allen, and then a walk with it, and the ball goes back to Leominster. And so unforced errors on each side. Leominster gets the ball back with $1:13 to play here in the fourth.
Turnovers plaguing both the Warriors and the Blue Devils thus far in this one.
Stutter drive, Tressaloni, baseline pass, couldn't find Young, tie up, held ball, arrow favors Narragansett. And that's what the Warriors needed on the possession to get the ball back.
Lots of positive cheering again for both sides. We got a lot of Narragansett fans on the stream tonight.
Well, we certainly appreciate everybody being out there, as we say, a part of our family here on RFM. A walk called and the ball back to Leominster. 54 and 6/10 seconds to play in this one.
Coach for Narragansett not happy with that last call. Official letting her plead her case, but he's letting her know what he thinks as well.
Indeed, Marwa Smith, Leominster's going to play catch. But a 23-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Smith goes corner for Tressaloni. Inside Marwa, Tressaloni, stutter, goes baseline. Pushed her shot well long. Forsberg runs down the loose ball, and then a bump on the floor. Bailed Leominster out. They had 2 on the shot clock, and they were at risk of another violation. Instead, with 26 and 3/10 seconds left in this game, they'll get a bump. The shot clock will go off, and Leominster will keep the basketball. Arrow favors Leominster as well.
Allen picks up her 4th. It's going to be team 5th for the Lady Warriors.
Blue Devils do not need to shoot the ball.
You can see Coach Fredericks would like them not to press the issue at all. Just play catch with it. Final 10 seconds on this one. Forsberg and Marwa. Watch that zone adjust back and forth and back and forth. It's a beautiful 2-3 zone with the traps, and that's the way this one will end. Final score here from the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster a winner tonight by 50-27 the score. Blue Devils were able to increase. They had a 6-point victory on Monday night over the Warriors down in Baldwinville by a 39-33 score, and win tonight by an increased margin, a 50-27 win tonight for the Blue Devils here at the gym at Leominster High School.
After that 6-4 first quarter, I would have laid odds that we would never see 50 by either team tonight, but Lady Blue Devils did a good job of finding their way, and especially here in the second half, definitely found the range with the 3-ball and slowly built that lead up.
So many different ways, Bill Thomas, to figure out, how you can grow, how you can improve through this game, and then how you can make adjustments. And the opportunities to make adjustments are few and far between the way this basketball game is currently laid out.
Yeah, I think Lady Blue Devils and Rusty did a better job making adjustments, especially in game. He did a good job keeping his players fresh, and I think that showed at the end of the game. The Lady Blue Devils stayed aggressive right from the opening coin toss. And
that's not sarcasm, that's the truth.
I had to think about how to phrase that. But a great 2-0 start the season for the Lady Blue Devils. And we know how passionate Rusty is. He took this program over a year ago, and it's great to see.
Once again from the gym at Leominster High School, Leominster a winner over Narragansett by a 50-27 margin. For those of you joining us on Leominster TV, replays available, Comcast and Verizon, channel 9 and 32. Check Leominster.tv for replay times and information. We thank those of you for joining us. For Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins. We say so long to our audience at Leominster TV. For those of you staying with us here on Rivalry Family Media, quick break as we wait for Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick, who will join us here courtside for an interview post-game at the end of this one. Leominster a 50-27 winner over Narragansett tonight. Post-game up next. Stay with us. This is RFM. back inside the gym at Leominster High School, and happy to have you along with us as we welcome to our courtside broadcast position Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick, who joins us here courtside. And Coach, a great win here tonight, 50-27, the margin of victory here. Your second opportunity to see the same team in a week. That's certainly unusual. What was it like matching up with the same team with a 4-day stretch in between?
It's like the NBA now. I mean, we got video on them right away, and it's good in a way where we're unfamiliar with each other at first, and then the second game we both have the tape, and then we can start going through some different matchups and things like that, and what they're going to do. Kind of blind right now going into this. Different teams that we're playing.
Well, I was going to say, that's a great point, because this is a very different pod than Leominster's used to playing. Of course, everything was done geographically to try to keep people in the same general part of the state that they're used to being in. What's it like matching up against, basically, other than Fitchburg, every team that you haven't seen in the last 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. It's good for us because we're very, very young, and for these girls to get out here, and then you could see as they start turning the ball over. But once they relaxed, Chloe came in and she kind of hit a couple shots there and put us back on track. And then from there on, I think we started hitting, making good passes. You're going to see a lot of turnovers with this team, but we're going to try to get better every day, because the only thing we got going is we're on the court. A lot of people don't have that opportunity. So, and I told the kids at the beginning of this, day one, I said, this could be our last day here. So let's just try to get as much as we can and improve every day, not just game to game, but every day.
There's a life lesson in there somewhere, Coach, where every day could be the last one. But somewhere beyond that dark cloud comes, do you like that? Somewhere beyond that dark cloud comes the basketball season that you've been in. And, of course, you mentioned Chloe Tresoloni coming in off the bench, making contributions. You started tonight a series of players where you had a junior, 2 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. That was your starting 5 tonight. Your first people off the bench, first players coming in off the bench, a freshman, a junior, a freshman, and the junior first-time varsity experience. So certainly a young squad, to say the least, which means that your ceiling is astronomical. It is unlimited.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we're building towards the future. So, like future's Monday against Gardner, I believe. And so these kids coming and getting the experience right now is priceless. I mean, they're just coming in and they're playing. Isabella's the only one with, experience really playing. And then Kylie at the end of the year last year. But I think we're going to have a team where it's someone different every night. And so these kids, they're learning how to play, and they've been well coached before, so it's nice. They come on. They don't care who scores the points. It's all about team, and it's good to see that.
Talking, Rusty, about, somebody different and having a young team, you don't have that go-to player, but at any given time, somebody could step up and be that go-to person. And we saw that tonight with let's see, who was firing away with the 3-pointers? Tressler?
Kira?
2 of the outside shooters, yeah. And somebody had that top of the key nail.
Forsberg, yeah.
And, but you never know. And it seems like you're utilizing your bench to your a great advantage, keeping the kids fresh. And I think having a young team, you don't have that go-to player that you got to leave out there. It's mixing and matching, finding out what's working. You're doing a great job so far.
Yeah, thank you. It's about making the right play. You know what? You're going to miss shots. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to turn. But just don't put your head down if that happens. Just keep on playing, make the right play, and we're going to be all right.
Speaking of putting your head down, I noticed one of your girls, I'm not going to call her out by name, but had a little problem with the traveling calls there, but you got her over on the bench. I had a little talk with her, but first opportunity play, you got her right back on the court. And I think that's proactive coaching. Good job right there.
Thank you. We'll work on that. We're going to slow down.
It's all about learning.
Let's relax.
It's a process.
Sometimes she's the one with the most experience, so I think she's trying to lead by, maybe trying too hard, and just let the game come to you, and she's going to be fine. But next week she'll be better.
We mentioned it on the broadcast, Coach. When you think about having basically your leadership is Ava McDonald, who's a junior, and then Isabella Nevard, a sophomore, you don't have that senior leader to put out in front. Frankly, you don't have a senior night. You don't have one, which is,
That's
I don't know that I've ever seen that before, but you don't have one. So that leadership is young. So they've got to grow and mature while also helping their teammates grow and mature. It's a unique situation.
Yeah, Isabella has stepped up. She's, during the summer, she started getting the girls together, playing with these younger groups. Let's go, and so she took on that kind of leadership, and now she's going to try doing it on the court, and it's a learning process. And Ava hasn't missed a practice in 3 years with me, and when she walks in the gym, it's Ava because she's got that strut, that huge smile. Well, I can't see that smile right now, but I know it's
so
there.
one thing we miss because the emotions say a lot.
Yeah.
But you can see it in their eyes and their emotions. But the smiles are a big part of it. But we can feel it on the court.
Yeah, and they love the game. They love coming to practice. They love. You can just tell, like being around them, that they love each other, they care about each other, and they're rooting for each other. It's great to see.
And one of the interesting things that you're talking about is that you clearly have that team chemistry. They clearly have a lot of unity, and it sounds like that they're excited when they come to practice.
Oh, yeah.
So that, in a lot of cases, for a varsity coach, especially on the girls' side of athletics, can sometimes be that very scary unknown. So it sounds like you have that. On the opposite side, from coaching relative to fundamentals, how has COVID changed up your job as a coach relative to scheduling, relative to how you're interacting or even reacting as a coach if student athletes are making, mental errors or COVID errors, if we can talk about that?
Well, at first it was really, how are we going to play with the masks on? Like I've gotten out there and I've run a little bit, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I go and hide somewhere and so that alone, and then we got to be in and out here in an hour and a half, so we're in and out, so we kind of we got to skip some things early in practice to get right into what we need to do, because an hour and a half, you want to go 2 hours at the beginning of the year to try to get everything in, and so we're trying to get things in, but I'm trying to let them more or less play. Mm-hmm. I want them to play, get to know each other. They're going to be around for a while, and then hour and a half practice, and then we got to practice tomorrow, and then we're in a game Monday, and we don't get a chance to get in the gym for Saturday and Sunday, which to me is tough.
Yeah.
You want to walk through.
Now, one of the things we heard this from Coach on Monday, and we're also hearing it from you. For those of you that are not familiar, for a varsity coach, especially in Mid-Wach, you usually have games every Monday in the Mid-Wach, and so having that Sunday practice is to be able to implement for the week is so crucial, especially here in the Mid-Wach. And it's in every sport that has more than one game in a week. And so you see this, the coaching staff, your eyes tell us, oh my God, what am I going to do without being able to implement on Sunday to prep for the week, especially with these home and homes. It's a whole new world for the coaching staffs.
Like being Monday, Thursdays, it'd be much better if we were Tuesday, Friday, because you get, at least we get to come in that Monday
Welcome
before.
to the Mid-Wach, everybody.
Cold on Monday,
So
exactly.
it's definitely, that's a tough spot right there. So tomorrow we got to move on from this game and get ready for the next team.
Yep. Because you got one day to implement.
But I just don't like having 2 days
So
consecutive
you
before we
practice
go into a
tomorrow
game.
for Gardner on Monday, and hopefully everything will turn out okay.
I don't know if the other teams have that issue or not, but
everybody in the Mid-Wach does.
I was going to say, that is the way basketball is laid out right now in 2021. So I guess that will bring me to our wrap-up, or our final 2 questions, Coach. First would be when, of course, players are away from the gym. That means you can't really, there's winter, so you can't go shoot outside. You can't shoot in the gym because you're not allowed to be here but for the hour and a half. So what can you do as an individual player during those 2 days layoff? When you walk out of here on a Friday night and say, hey, we'll see you for a game on Monday, what do you do? What do you tell them to do between Friday and Monday to be ready to play that game?
Try to watch film, which we got a nice little huddle system going on now.
Yep, we saw that earlier.
It's a big upgrade. It's awesome for us. Now
watching a JV game on it, and it's going to be invaluable.
It is. It's a big plus for us right now. But I tell them, watch film, learn, stay a little active, do some sit-ups, push-ups. Ask mom or dad to go for a run, whatever it takes. And again, when we come into practice, there's days where it's just fundamentals. We have to do, they're not seniors, so we want to make sure they're doing the right things and learning how to shoot that ball. And, the freshmen too, so they're not as strong as the upperclassmen on getting the balls from side to side. But I thought we made that, change, and we got the ball cross court, and then things open up for you. You got to move it.
Next on the agenda, it's Gardner week next week, so it's Leominster Gardner. Coach, I was talking about it earlier. It's a revival of a great rivalry. It's a rivalry that used to play frequently in the latter part of the 90s and the early parts of the 2000s, and then obviously with all the realignment that's happened since that 2000 time period, over 20 years, these two teams have kind of grown apart because they've gone in different directions. I think that's one of the great parts here is to bring back what was a really heated rivalry on the girls' side, not even on the boys' side, but on the girls' side. The Gardner-Leominster rivalry was always a great feisty battle every year.
Yeah, because when you talk to the older guys or girls, and they'll talk about the Gardner-Leominster matchup. I played against Gardner, 5 years ago. So
5 years ago.
You look fantastic for your age. Great career achievement.
The math takes years off. Rusty.
Yeah, not a math major.
Oh, man.
Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on Monday night.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
Coach.
weekend,
Nice
Coach.
2-0
Thank you so
start.
much.
Good job on the
2-0, the start for the Blue Devils girls here, wrapping up at the gym at Leominster High School. A 50-27 win tonight. Kate, your opportunity to recap the post-game stats as we take a full look at this one.
All right, let's take a look at Narragansett's side of the ball. Team totals first. 25 rebounds, 3 steals, 31 turnovers. They were 12 of 22 from the free throw line as a team. They totaled 27 points. Individual statistics for the Warriors of Narragansett. Jansen ends the night with 3 points, Allen with 8, Davis with 10, Hardy with 7, and Gallagher with 4 points. Now if we take a look at the Blue Devils side of the ball, team totals first 37 rebounds, 8 steals, 26 turnovers. They were 3 of 10 from the free throw line, so an area needing improvement there. Individual notable statistics, we have a lot of people with scoring contributions here for the Lady Blue Devils. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Lady Blue Devils on the score sheet. Let's run those down. Marwa ends the night with 4 points, Tressaloni with 4, Nevard with 8, Cudahy with 6, McDonald with 4, Smith with 7, Forsberg with a team-high 13 points. She had 3 3-pointers. 2 of those came in the second quarter, and her other came in the third quarter. And Pompey ends her night with 2 points. The Lady Blue Devils victorious over the Warriors of Narragansett, 50-27. Your final here from the gym at Leominster High School.
And Bill Thomas, that's the kind of start. If you were picturing the kind of start that you would want to have, that's the kind of start you would want to have on your team. As well. Starting out 2-0, you go through the first week, you know you haven't got enough experience, you haven't had enough team building, you haven't had enough of, well, anything, and you started 2-0. I mean, that's a victory in and of itself.
Yeah, and you've got a pretty deep bench at this point. I mean, you've got a lot of contributions, and you don't know who it's going to come from these first 2 nights. Different contributors, but strong play off the bench, I think, and that takes a lot of pressure off the starters because when you got 5 starters and then you bring in 2 or 3 kids and you lose that continuity and, you don't score and you got to worry about getting your starters back in, I don't think Rusty's going to have that problem this year. I think he's got a very well-balanced team, and it's going to show, especially as they get deeper into the games and, the bench gets deeper, and I think it's only going to bode well. With the masks, with the short at halftime, I think strength and endurance is going to be a big factor as these games play out as the season goes on. And Rusty's positioned himself well with a nice team, 6-8 kids, even maybe as deep as 10 on any given night. He's got 15 over there, and he's doing a great job playing them.
All 10 certainly on the varsity roster have a chance to see the floor at any given time. And Kate, I hate to be the guy looking ahead at the end of week 1, but this is a lot about setting the table for next year. This is about setting the table for the 2021-2022 school year and that basketball season, which everyone is fingers crossed hoping looks a lot more like it did in 2019-2020. And that is a much more, fuller season. You're going to have a deeper set of athletes. All of these freshmen and sophomores will be sophomores and juniors. So right now, although there isn't quote unquote a lot you're playing for, and you have a young squad, and how successful you are not going to be, starting out with this 2-0 start, what you are doing is getting very important minutes to prepare a team for a run 2 years down the road, next basketball season and the year after that.
Well, and I think that there's a lot of variables to think about here in this one, and I think that this type of truncated COVID year can be considered a double-edged sword for a team like Narragansett or a team like Leominster. Leominster is in a situation where they're playing a geographical schedule. So that means that they're playing atypical teams. And so when next year they revert back to a traditional Mid-Wachusett schedule, that could be an eye-opener. So having this year to be able to develop the talent for Leominster is going to be crucial. The only problem is you're only allowed so many practices and so many games. And so although I think that this is going to boost their confidence, being able to see their record starting off at 2-0, I do think that these student athletes, when they come into things next year, could potentially get a really big eye-opening and wake-up call early on in their season next year, because things are going to be a little bit different. They're not going to be geographically placed. A team like Narragansett here, again, playing an atypical opponent in people like in a team like Leominster, and so they're able to really go at it with a little bit more high scoring, open up the court a little bit, have a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more freewheeling, and do a really fabulous job. I mean, they did, from the score at the beginning of the game, they did yeoman's work, especially with their free throw shooting. There were a lot of positives. They got a very young, brand new coach, and so they are a very young team looking to make some adjustments going forward as well. So on both sides, I really do feel like this year could be really double-edged sword. So I commend Coach Fredericks in looking at the positive and saying, we're going to take advantage of a year like this and try to build on it as these student athletes mature and as they're able to gain experience and quality varsity minutes. It's very rare that you have a varsity team with this young getting this much quality minutes on the court. That sentence was grammatically terrible, but you understand, like, they're out there, they're
What'd
getting
you just
minutes.
say?
Who knows? Who knows?
Growth and development is the long and
Blah,
the
blah,
short
blah,
of
blah,
that
blah.
one. And Bill Thomas, I'm going to spin this one a little bit off of Kate's point, because
Oh, I made one?
She's right. That
did.
geographic thing isn't going to be to Leominster's benefit. And we always hear the great debate. And of course, the great debate is that, well, Leominster and Fitchburg, they're not big enough anymore. They don't get enough players to come out for their different sports anymore, so they shouldn't be Mid-Wach schools. And Fitchburg had dropped down to Mid-Wach B and C and different sports now over the last handful of years. And everyone in Leominster is going, well, why aren't we, we don't have those kind of numbers anymore to compete with the St. John's and the Shrewsbury and the Wachusett and all of these other schools that are Algonquin, much larger athletic populations. And so, yes, to Kate's point, Leominster has this thing where right now when you look at the placement, Leominster, formerly of Mid-Wach A, against a Mid-Wach E team. Nope, those two things don't fit together. They certainly don't seem like they belong competitively balanced. But you might make an argument that you might find that Leominster isn't a Mid-Wach A school anymore by size and participation. Maybe they are a better fit in B and C as these realignments are going on over the next year or so, setting up for that max preps, power rankings, and statewide playoff format that is coming in the next year.
Well, it's all about, seeing how you match up with your competition. If you're getting outmatched game after game after game because the numbers don't work, it's tough on your program because it's just it's demoralizing. And I think we saw some of that at Fitchburg the last couple of years when finally the MIAA dropped them down. They started showing a little more success in basketball. The football program has bounced back nicely. So maybe it's time for an adjustment, and that's what this in this COVID era where you're playing different schools. I mean, this can only help Narragansett playing, what's essentially a D1 or a D2 school, and they're, a D5, D6. But when it comes to basketball, it's a lot easier to match up out of your district or out of your conference because your pool of players in your talent pool doesn't need to be as large to be successful, unlike football or baseball or soccer, some of the other teams. But it can only bode well for small schools like Narragansett that are playing up in this shortened season, and a team like Leominster, very inexperienced, but getting a chance to test some different competition and really try to position himself for the future. And and I'm looking at the roster, only 3 juniors. Never mind, no seniors, only 3 juniors. I mean, we're looking about a team that's got a core of at least 3 years with not a lot of turnover, and we'll have to see what the future holds.
One of the things that I do want to make one quick point about, and we made it after our discussion with Coach Grutchfield on Monday, and I think it bodes repeating here. The real victory in all of this year is the fact that we are on the court. That's it. period, end of discussion. So it doesn't matter, in my estimation, and you can see it on the players' faces, it doesn't matter who they're out there playing. The fact that they are playing is the champion. That's the trophy at the end of the season. They get to savor that with every single game that they get to play. And so regardless of the fact, I actually think it was a fantastic idea by the basketball committee to make these geographical matchups, because this is one of the first indoor sports in the state of Massachusetts that we're playing at the high school level. And so to really try to make these bubbles truly bubbles, geographic bubbles at that, so that you're not going across into southern Worcester County. You're not having to come up to northern Worcester County in order to play and cross-contaminate the various bubbles.
Yep.
You're staying within this geographical realm. You're going to have pod playoffs. You get to play new opponents that are atypical and untraditional, and you get to play. And so at the end of the day, that's the trophy.
There might be some new rivalries, created. We might see the start of a Route 2 rivalry with Gardner next week.
No question about that, or the return at the very least to that Route 2 rivalry, to say the least. And Kate, to echo your point, Tim Conway said it here on the comments underneath this broadcast on Facebook Live. Great to see high school athletes getting the chance to play and enjoy. That is the postscript for this one here tonight. We'll keep monitoring this, and of course the development toward those statewide playoffs. That is a direction that this sport and every other is heading in the next year. Whenever we return to whatever normal is going to be at the conclusion of this grand COVID experience that we're all living through, when high school athletics returns to a more normal, traditional, regular season, then on to the playoffs, those playoffs are going to be organized statewide, which means that right now these meetings that are going on across all the different sports and all the different levels, incredibly tenuous, along with the tournament management committee at the MIAA trying to piece this together and figure out which schools size-wise belong together, and then which schools size-wise would make the best combinations to eventually down the road have the competitive balance necessary to be able to generate competitive statewide postseason playoff brackets. It's a whole lot of fun to see come together, and we're going to get a unique look at all the levels fitting together here in these geographic Pod 6 in particular shows all the different levels fitting together in the different pieces in competition.
I'm sure our entire audience can see just how fun it is at home talking about this all the time.
No question about it. We look forward to the opportunity to cover that for you and to continue our conversation into next week. As we mentioned, it's Gardner Leominster Week here on Rivalry Family Media. Starting with Monday, January the 18th, it's girls right back here taking center stage. Leominster and Gardner renew and reignite the rivalry between Leominster and Gardner right here at the gym at Leominster High School. 6 o'clock on Monday night, Martin Luther King Day, 6 p.m. tip. We'll be with you starting at 5:45 right here on Rivalry Family Media. As we mentioned, so many great ways to be a part of these broadcasts here on Rivalry Family Media. The broadcast live here on Facebook.com/Media Rivalry will be available this evening on YouTube. tinyurl.com/Media Rivalry will take you directly to the page, or if you go to youtube.com, search Rivalry Family Media. Like, follow, subscribe today. Updates at Media Rivalry on Twitter as well. We thank all of you so very much for being a part of this broadcast and every other here on Rivalry Family Media. Once again, the final score: Leominster 50 and Narragansett 27. Blue Devils improved to 2-0 on this early season at the conclusion of week 1 of 5 of winter basketball here on RFM. Meanwhile, the Warriors fall to 0-2. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much for being a part of our family over the last couple of hours. We look forward to welcoming you in next week for Leominster Gardner Week here on Rivalry Family Media. Until next week, for all of us here at RFM, we say so long, everybody.